Hello everyone, welcome to the Kiki London YouTube channel. My name's Amanda. In today's video, we are jumping full on into spring and we are going to do some mini egg nails. So I really hope you all enjoy watching. Now starting off, I have already prepped my nails and applied some press-on nail tips, buffed the surface of these so we can go straight in with our gel polish application. For the colours I've selected today, I've gone for Peachy Nude, which is this gorgeous pink, Peachy Bum, which is this super cute peachy orange shade. I've then gone for Cotton Candy because I kind of really wanted a lilac in amongst these colours. Then I have a Sky High Blue. I love this blue, it is one of my favourites and I feel as though it's got a hint of that duck egg blue colour to it, so it works perfectly for mini egg nails. And then I've gone for my all-time favourite spring colour, which is Willow. Also, I'm going to have my strap liner brush to hand to help neaten and perfect any application around the cuticles and sidewall area. This just makes your gel polish application a lot easier. So we're going to jump straight in to applying our first coat of gel polish. As you can see, I've wiped off one side of the brush completely and I've left roughly the other side half full of gel polish. I like to go in with my first coat of colour nice and thin. I'm not going to stress if this doesn't look fully opaque, if it looks a little bit patchy, because when we come in and apply our second coat of colour, this is where you get the true opacity of the shade, the full pigmentation and all that stuff. And by doing it like that with two thin coats, you basically are going to get a really nice thin application. You're not going to have any bulkiness to your gel polish layers. You're not going to have any curing issues, so you're not going to have to worry about the colour rippling because it's too thick. And also the overall appearance of the nail looks a lot nicer if you come in and do two thin coats, because obviously your gel polish isn't going to be thick and bulky looking. It does also mean as well that when it comes to wearing the nails, you're not going to have to stress about anything like chipping issues and things like that, because thin coats will cure all the way through, where if you apply thick coats, they may look as though they're cured all the way through, but they might not be. So then a couple of days into wearing the set of nails, you might find you have peeling issues. So keep your gel polish coats nice and thin. Two thin coats. Once you have done that second coat, you will see the full opacity, like I said, so you don't have to worry about going in with a third coat. Now when it comes to doing your mini egg nails, you of course can pick any colors of your choices. You can go for colors that look more closer to the classic mini eggs if you wish. I just like to have fun with this look and pick out either my favorites or the colors that I'm fancying. I do feel as though classic mini egg nails, their colors, they're more usually like muted pastels, where I wanted to go for something a little bit more vibrant. The sun was shining when I did this set of nails and I really just wanted to have that pop of color, but this look will work with any color of your choice, and you don't have to mix it up and go for all different colors. If you don't want to, you could just go in and do one color on all 5 nails. After I had done this set of nails, I really loved how Sky High Blue looked, which we're going to pop on my thumbnail, and I kind of felt as though I think this would look really cute as a full set of Sky High Blue with that mini egg effect. Let me know what colour was your favourite out of all 5 in the comments below. And as well, if you was doing a full 10 set of nails like you normally would, obviously I only do seem to do one hand when I do my nails for a video, but if you're doing all 10 nails, you don't even have to keep with just doing 5 colours. You could go all out and do 10 different gel polish shades, which I think would look really fun. I felt as though picking 5 give you a good look at some of the colours that are really pretty for spring as well. A couple of the colours I've used here are from the Spring Pastels collection, and that is one of my favourite collections for spring. So if you're looking for an all-round good selection of spring colours, I would highly recommend checking out the Spring Pastel collection, because it does allow you to get it a little bit cheaper if you buy the colours as a collection bundle. So I did cure my forefingers. When I'm working on myself, I find it a lot easier to do my forefingers and then my thumb separately, just so I don't smudge any of those fingernails whilst I'm working on the thumb. But let's talk a little bit more about application. So I always like to wipe off one side of my brush. This means I've got a little bit more control over the product because there's not too much. So when you apply pressure with the brush onto the nail, you're not going to have to worry about the gel polish flooding the cuticle area or those side walls. I always find less is more, if that makes sense. So going in with less on my brush is a lot easier to apply than going in with a too loaded brush. And then as well, if you find as though there's not enough, you can easily go back into the bottle and get a little bit more gel polish, where if you go in from the beginning with too much product on your brush, it just ends up a little bit harder. You're chasing that product around. So this is what these colors all look like with one coat. So as you can see, even with one coat, they are fairly opaque. I'm going to rearrange the colors. I always like to make sure if I'm doing, say, like a Skittles mani, using multiple different colors, I like to get them back into order. It just makes application flow a lot easier, because halfway through doing your nails, you're not having to find which bottle, especially when you're working on someone else as well. It's always good to have your space nice and neat, nice and tidy, everything to hand, so that then you can be nice and quick. So we're going to come in and apply our second coat of colour. I did have a little hair stuck in my gel polish there, so off camera I did just get that out using a nail art brush, just so I could go back in and fix up the application. But this is where, when you come in and apply that second coat of colour, this is Willow, how gorgeous does this look once you've got that true opacity of the shade popping through. So again, with my second coat, I keep the application nice and thin, completely wipe off one side of my brush and leave the other side of the brush roughly half full with gel polish. On my first coat, you would have seen, this is where I tend to focus on getting that neat cuticle line, so I'll use my stripe liner brush. This way, when it comes to applying your second coat of colour, it's a lot easier because you've already got a guide down and you just need to follow where you're going. I always like to start off right at that cuticle area, but with the brush slightly back from the cuticle, and just shimmy it up towards the cuticle to help get as close to the cuticle as possible without having to stress too much about touching it. Of course, this is why I have my stripe liner brush to hand, because if there are any times where my application is a little bit off, if I'm working on someone where it's quite hard to get close to their cuticles, maybe they've got small nail beds, then I will use my stripe liner brush rather than stressing about getting a neat cuticle area with my bottle brush. I do really love the Kiki London bottle brushes. I find that they fan out really nice around that cuticle line, but sometimes, or all the time, I just love to have my stripe liner brush to hand to go in with and get that neat application. The only other difference I do on the second coat compared to the first coat is I do like to come in and cap the free edge of the nail, especially if I'm working on more medium to long length nails. I don't stress about this too much if I'm working on really short nails, because sometimes it can be impossible to cap that free edge, especially if you're working on something like short bitten nails. But I go in and just gently run that brush along the free edge of the nail to cap the color. One, I think this looks a lot more appealing. It gives the finished result a lot more of a polished effect, but it also does help minimize any chipping at the free edge as well. And I will do the same with my top coat as well. I'll come in and cap that free edge with the top coat as well. So here you can see how beautiful is Sky High Blue. I absolutely love this shade. I love a pastel, and I feel like this is just the perfect spring summer's blue sky day. It's absolutely gorgeous. So now that we've got our two coats of our gel polish applied, we are ready to go in and create our eggshell effect. I did also really quickly want to mention, if you see me cleaning up, I was using my old angled nail art brush. I've kept one separate for cleanup because it sees a lot of alcohol and acetone, so it dries out quicker, but I just use this with a little bit of alcohol to clean up. Now we're going to go in and apply a layer of the eggshell top coat. I'm going to give my stripe liner brush a wipe just to make sure there's no colour on there, because we don't want to transfer that colour onto our top coat. And then the eggshell top coat is a clear glossy top coat, and then it has these beautiful black speckles in there that give off the perfect eggshell finish. Now there are larger and smaller pieces in there, so it really gives a natural sort of, it doesn't look like nail art, if you know what I mean. Like if all the pieces were the same size, it wouldn't look right. So I love that there's a mix of larger and smaller pieces. Now I go in and I float this top coat in. I don't stress about getting too close to the cuticle area with it. I just go in and try to predominantly cover most of the nail as I can. I also don't stress where those eggshell pieces are going, because what I like to do is float it on using the bottle brush, and then I will take my stripe liner brush and use this to get nice and neat and close around those cuticle areas. And then I'll also help nudge those black speckled pieces around so they're covering the nail how I want them to be, because naturally when you're starting at the cuticle area and pulling your brush down towards the tip of the nail, even with a floating motion, you will tend to sometimes pull too many of those black speckled pieces down. So I then just like to go in and give them a little nudge around just to make sure that there's not any areas where it's too empty. Of course, it does still give a natural effect, because when you look at mini eggs or any eggs that have speckles to them, there might be areas where there's not too many speckles. But when we're doing nails, I wanted it to look a little bit more polished, so I just go in with my stripe liner brush and nudge those pieces around. You will see as well, I did cap the free edge with this top coat, which I didn't necessarily need to, because I'm going to go in and make these matte. So we are going to go in with a layer of matte top coat as well. Whichever top coat you're using as your final top coat, that's kind of the one you want to cap. And normally you would only use one top coat, but this is a glossy top coat, and I was really feeling a matte set of nails, so I did come over the surface with a matte top coat as well. That's also why I like to use this top coat with my stripe liner brush, to keep it thin, because technically you could just keep going in with the bottle brush until you were happy with how many black speckles they were, but then you might end up with it being ever so slightly too thick. And if you're going to want to come in with a matte top coat, you really don't want this layer to be too thick. So here I really didn't pick up many black speckles at all, so I go in anyway with the clear layer that is down and just neaten up the application around those side walls and around the cuticle area, just so I know that the whole gel polish layer, the color layer, is sealed in, so I'm not having to stress that we're going to get any chipping areas where there's not a top coat there, if that makes sense, because your gel polish colors do need to be sealed in with a layer of top coat. So if you were just doing the one coat of this, you definitely want to make sure that you've got a clear layer over the entire nail. But then just using my stripe liner brush, I went in, picked up a little bit more gel, ended up with a little bit too much, so I did wipe my brush off, but I'm just using this to apply a few more of those black speckled particles so that this now matched the others nicely. And then again, I'm going to pop these in to cure for 60 seconds and do my thumbnail separately so I don't make any smudgy mistakes. I really loved, like I said at the start of the video, I really loved how this blue looked with the eggshell top coat. I feel as though I would really like to do maybe a Skittles mani of blues rather than just one, like a whole full set of sky high blue. I think it could look really cute with a few different blues, and it's going to kind of give off that duck egg effect. So it's something I might have to have a play around with and maybe just pop a picture up on my Instagram or something like that, because I really loved, I love duck egg blue anyway, but I really loved how this effect looked over the blue. I do feel as though this top coat works beautifully over any spring colour of your choice, but out of these 5, the blue was definitely my favourite, so I really took my time to make sure the speckled effect from the eggshell top coat was perfect. Now this is what the nails look like after you've top coated, so they look all gorgeous and glossy, which I do absolutely love, don't get me wrong, I love a glossy finish, but I just was really feeling a matte set of nails for this look, and I feel as though mini eggs look quite matte anyway, so it works having a matte layer over the top. So I'm going to come in with the No White matte top coat, and I'm going to be really conscious to apply this nice and thinly, because we have already sealed everything in, so it is the end of the manicure, but I want that matte finish, so I just want to make sure that we're fully covering the entire nail so that we're not going to have any glossy patches, but just keeping it nice and thin so that we're not ending up with a too bulky nail. Now if you worry about your matte top coat separating from the glossy top coat, I don't personally ever have an issue with this, but if you're quite hard on your nails, you might find that could happen. You could go in and very gently buff the surface of the eggshell top coat before you come in and apply your matte top coat. Just make sure to wipe over with any alcohol to remove any dust, but like I said, I don't personally find that necessary, but it's a step that you might want to bear in mind if you do have any chipping issues by applying your matte top coat over a glossy top coat. So again, I have done my thumb now separately, and then once I have finished all of these, we are going to still go in and apply cuticle oil. I have left in showing you guys what I do if I apply cuticle oil after doing a matte set of nails, where I still want to get my pictures. So you could take your pictures at this point to get the matte effect before you add any oils, but my cuticles always are in need of a good nourish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and take the Kiki London Coconut Escape Cuticle Oil, and I'm just going to pop a small drop of this on to all of my cuticles. I love the Coconut Escape Cuticle Oil. It just really gives you that hit of summer in a bottle, and I was really needing that today. With the sun shining, it felt summery, but there was still that little chill in the air, and this just made me feel like at least we know spring and soon summer will be on its way. I'm going to give that a really good rub in to really help soften and nourish my cuticles, and then I love to finish off with the K&S hand lotion as well. So I'm just going to take a small pump of this, rub it predominantly all into the skin, but I'm going to go around those nails as well. It's going to help lock in the moisture from the cuticle oil as well. So if you haven't already tried this, it's another product that I would highly recommend. It leaves your skin feeling so soft, and it has the most gorgeous scent as well. However, after applying lots of oils and lotions, your matte top coat might look a little bit shiny or a little bit oily. So I'm going to go in with an alcohol wipe and just wipe over the surface of the nails, avoiding any of the skin and cuticles because we don't want to dry them out. But then, as you can see, that really helps give you the pop of soft skin against that matte nail base. So just use a little bit of alcohol, a little bit goes a long way to help bring the matte back to life. And then this was the finished result. So as always, I have left all the products I've used listed in the description box below. If you have any questions or any video requests, please do pop me a comment below and let me know what you would like to see on the channel. If you did enjoy today's video, please do give it a thumbs up and hit that subscription button if you haven't already. And I shall see you all again in next Friday's video. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Lots of love. Take care. Bye bye.